All right, good morning, YouTube. Mike here with another video, and today I wanted to do a new series that I've been wanting to do, and it's simply called Mornings with Mike. So right now it's fairly early in the morning where I'm at, made my coffee, and I would like to use this series just to kind of talk about random stuff, whatever I want, tech related or not. But in today's first episode, I want to talk about the LG V60 and why I returned it. So let's get into it. All right, so quick story. Yesterday, I actually ended up mailing back my LG V60, and kind of a weird or funny story how my plan was I ordered a Galaxy Note 10 Plus because now they're the same price brand new as the LG V60 is. So depending on where you go, Amazon, your carrier, or B&H, you can essentially get the Note 10 Plus for the same price as the LG V60 is with the dual screen. So my plan was to order the Note 10 Plus so I could do a comparison with the LG V60. And during the time that I was spending with the Note 10 Plus, I kind of realized how much more I preferred it over the V60. And not necessarily because of hardware so much as the software. And that's one of the big reasons why I ended up returning the V60 was because of LG's own software. I found so many quirks with it that it was just driving me nuts. Not to mention also the screen difference. The LG V60 screen is excellent. It's bright, it's clear. I really didn't have any complaints about it until I put it next to the Note 10 Plus, and I could just immediately see the glaring difference. So back to the glaring reason that I did return it was because of LG's software specifically. And right now I would show you the Note 10, but I'm actually using it to record this video. So the software, like I mentioned, is the number one reason that I went ahead and returned this phone. Screen aside, everything else aside, hardware aside, it's the software for me. There were so many quirky things with the LG software that it drove me nuts. So starting with file management, or the file manager app specifically. I noticed when I insert an SD card or I plug in an external hard drive, the file manager opens, and it's actually a good file manager. It's laid out nicely, allows you to interact, do what you want to do, works great. However, as soon as you eject the SIM card or hard drive or whatever, the file manager goes away, and there's no way to open that or trigger the file manager unless you plug in an external drive, which makes no sense to me. I don't know why there's no way to open it otherwise, but I dug in the settings, searched the phone, searched Reddit. There's just no way to open that file manager unless you plug in a hard drive. So that to me is very frustrating. I don't know why they would do that. Again, I know there's plenty of third-party file managers you can download, but again, I don't want to do that. I'd rather use the native one on the phone, which brings me to another gripe about their software, and that is a native email client. Again, same thing. There's hundreds of thousands of third-party email apps, but I've never seen a phone that doesn't have its own native email client, so that doesn't make any sense to me. So to me, that was another gripe or pet peeve with this phone. Now, the next gripe with the software is multitasking. Now, again, I'm coming from Samsung devices, so TouchWiz, One UI, whatever you want to call it. And with the LG, the multitasking works fine. I can have two apps in split view, which is what I like to do. However, I like to be able to slide the middle of it to make one app bigger or smaller than the other. And I'll try and show you a screenshot of what I mean. But essentially, I like to use two apps specifically like when I'm driving. I like to have Google Maps and Waze up. And I like to resize one accordingly. So I might want the Google Maps one to be smaller or bigger and vice versa. Now with LG's multitasking windows, you can't resize them at all. So it just splits it 50-50 and it's there. Again, not a big deal, but at the same time, it's just a little pet peeve of mine because I'm used to Samsung and coming from One UI software. That's my other gripe or pet peeve why I return the phone deals with it's, I guess, a combination of hardware and software, and that's the front camera and the ability to unlock the phone with your face, whether it be iris, retina, or just facial recognition, which I know is not as secure, but I like having it. So if I'm out, I'm wearing gloves, I don't want to have to take my gloves off to unlock the phone. I could just use my face. And for whatever reason, whether it just be the limitation of the front camera or they just chose to omit it from the software, the V60 does not allow you to unlock it with your face. Okay, so those were the major issues, at least major in my book, with the software that caused me to really return this device. But like I said, I had no complaints with the hardware, but I will say that once I sat it down and compared it to the Galaxy Note 10 Plus, to me there was kind of a glaring difference in the form factor. The quality of the screen, the brightness just kind of was very surprising to me. I didn't think that the gap would be that large. Like I said, the V60, I still recommend it for the money. It's a great phone. The cameras, I think, are awesome. But while I was comparing the camera quality, whether it be video or picture, to the Note 10 Plus, I just didn't see a big difference one way or the other. So to me, the cameras seem to be pretty much on par. I mean, obviously in some situations, you're going to get a better picture with the V60. And some you might get a better picture or video with the Note 10 Plus. But overall, I think that it was fairly comparable. So no complaint there. But I think the 4K 60 video, in my opinion, is a little crispier on the Note 10 Plus. Like I said, I'm shooting this entire video on the Note 10 Plus. So you can go back and look at my Surface Pro X review and see what you think of the video there, because that was all shot on the LG V60. But that was just a kind of a short video where I want to talk about my experiences with the V60 and why I ultimately decided to return it and just stick with the Note 10 Plus. So if you have any questions on that, specifically about the V60 or Note 10, why I returned it, just shoot it in the comments below and I'll try my best to answer it. But as always, this is just a quick video. You enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. And if you've not subscribed, please do so. Thanks.